Hello, everyone, and welcome to the episode 92 of the Office Hours podcast. We're back yet again after a little break, and yeah, a lot has been happening in the world of tech. So I wonder what we're gonna chat about today. Mo, how you been?
Good, good. I was actually thinking, before we started talking,
Mm-hmm.
if you if you were keeping up with everything going on, or like you are still on vacation.
Uh, a little bit. Like, I mean, I heard about like the Cloudflare Oopsie, and then an AWS Oopsie. So many Oopsies these days.
Hmm.
I heard about like the market kind of having a little dip, crypto's crashing like mad. Uh, what
Yeah.
else? Uh, yeah, that's kind of it, I would say.
Do where should we start from? Because
Yeah.
because I'm curious about what you think about almost everything. But let's
Mm,
start. You know what? Let's start with the oopsies.
yeah.
Because what do you think
But,
is cursing this? Like, what do you think is the reason for this? Do you think it's like
it's
tech
basically
flaw?
like the thing that they're doing is kind of going against the whole idea of what internet is supposed to be, which is like a series of independent servers interconnected together through this routable network so that if any one server goes down or out of commission, the rest of the internet is not affected. And instead, after a while, we're like, you know what would be great? If we just route everything or pretty much like 80% of the whole usable internet through this one provider, or like host like 80% of all the internet websites off this one service provider. So like when they go down, the whole thing goes down. I mean, in terms of it going down, it's not the question of like, it's a question of when, right? It's not a question of if. It's impossible to maintain a system as complex without anything ever happen. And, it's always DNS. If it's not DNS, it's always BGP. And if it's not BGP, it's always something this or that, right? So um, things like that are bound to happen eventually. And putting all of our collective eggs in one basket is like, you know, it's a fairly reasonable outcome. I'm not saying it's a good or bad. Obviously, it's not good PR for them because, they pride themselves on their availability. And I think as a what is it, as a collateral, Rust has caught some flack. Like pretty much my LinkedIn feed this entire week has been, oh, Rust is such a stupid thing. Like, look what happened because of Rust and Cloudflare. I'm like, was it Rust, or like, can you mess it up in any language? And then on the other hand, it's like, yeah, any language, you could have done this stupid thing in any language, blah blah blah. So there's like this kind of clash, the Rust evangelism task force going against everybody else. But nobody's really asking themselves the question about, is it a good idea to route everything through one system on the entire internet? So,
But is this how it works? Because like if you say routing everything through one system, it's not one system really, is it?
well,
Like
it's
this
not
is not
one
how
system;
cloud
it's
works.
one entity, right? So, like when Cloudflare does something, it affects their entire operation.
So
Because pretty
so
much every
you
time these things happen, it was like, oh, they did something, the whole thing went down. Sometimes, like if AWS, like some services on AWS goes down, rest are not affected. But like last time that happened, it was something so core and crucial to the entire stack that basically the entire platform got knocked out. And as a consequence, like all of the other ones, it's like basically like a giant set of dominoes. Like one tiny component goes down in AWS, takes out the rest of AWS, and then takes out the rest of the internet. And because you know, uh, do you, do you remember those guys with the smart bed?
a smart bed. No.
Yeah, there's like some smart bed, which was basically talking to AWS all the time to check for a valid license. And because it couldn't reach AWS, it basically went into like a W shape so that people can't sleep on it because they don't have a license. Like, what kind of dystopian bullshit future is this? It's like, oh, thank you, internet. You broke my bed. You turned my bed into a piece of hostile architecture. You know how they build those Like on the bus stop, they build the benches.
Hmm.
Before it used to be like a flat piece of wood. It's a bench. People sit on it. But then someone's like, you know what's not great for our beautiful city is like when homeless people sleep on them. So let's make them as uncomfortable to sleep on as possible. So to dissuade them from doing that, right? It's called hostile architecture. If you Google for it,
Mm,
it's like you have like a
okay.
windowsill in a big building, and
Mm,
then they put like metal spikes all over it so that people
yeah.
can sleep in there. So it turned bed that you bought for like $10,000 in your own house into a piece of hostile architecture that prevents you from sleeping on it, and it's kind of
Okay.
hilarious and kind of sad at the same time.
The way I was thinking about it, it's a bit different though. Like I was thinking, I was trying to like analyze this type of like oopsies. So for example, like I know that if you, depending on how many service, like how wide like the service you render is, you could be responsible for a lot of things. So in this case, do you think it's like, where do you look into to make sure like this kind of thing doesn't happen again?
Well, you just
Would
don't
it
do
be
that.
like would it be
like the,
like at the dev level, at the management level, at the is it a technical problem? Like is it like the cloud tech itself that was a problem? Was it
well, like
was it too
from
much?
from my understanding, the Cloudflare specifically is solving the problem of protecting your property from getting taken down by like DDoS and various other things. So it's basically puts a firewall in front of you to prevent bad guys taking down your property, right? And everybody's using it, so when they go down, everybody by that same nature goes down, right? Like everybody's servers were still running, they just weren't reachable because publicly they're all of them are routed through Cloudflare in some way, shape, or form.
I think even Jira was affected too, like
Well,
and
like
everyone.
any website you visit, you like hit some link and there's like this brief pop-up where it says we're checking your browser to say blah 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 blah, and then the
Mm.
actual site opens. Like that's them, and they control most of the internet in terms of like DDoS protection because they offer like generous free tiers and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, when it happens with like other people, like AWS, I'm not saying Cloudflare as Cloudflare. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about on this scale of tech, on this scale of development, on this scale of engineering, how do you make sure like these kind of things should not happen? Because like if you're picking a benchmark of like a development process, I feel like there's a level where you start to see like what these people do. I probably want to have this in my company. Like if I'm actually like starting a team, how these people work should probably be like I don't know if you follow the story
Mm.
of Shopify. Like they used to have this type of reputation. I don't know if um I'm not sure if they still do, but
Hmm.
it was a thing a few years ago, and everyone looked at how they set up their teams and like how they participate in the community of development, especially when it comes to like Ruby
Hmm.
and stuff. Even AI now, they are still doing well. But Cloudflare companies like this will be like places where you put like a benchmark. Amazon, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And when
Well,
oopsies like this
you
happen,
I see
where do
what
you
you
point the
mean.
blame?
But like you can't speak for the entirety of Amazon because Amazon is like comprised of thousands of teams, and every team broadly does internally whatever they want, as far as I understand. Because like experiences that I heard from people working at Amazon at different teams are like vastly different. So you can't just say, "Oh, Amazon does X, therefore we must do X to
Hmm.
it's again that whole cargo cult thing. It's like because they do that, if we do that, we'll be as successful as them. But like one does not follow from the other. And I think in a lot of cases where these type of oopsies happened in the past, a lot of times the common thread was somebody just like YOLO'd something, and that was that. Some benign looking change that had catastrophic knock-on effects with catastrophic consequences. Because the funny thing about the Amazon thing is the system that went down I believe also prevented themselves from actually getting into various environments and like looking at things and fixing things, because like they themselves could not get access to their internal systems because all of that stuff was going through that subsystem that crapped out, right? But I think that like essentially the normal playbook, like losing millions of dollars in revenue or penalties or whatever contractual obligations they have with people aside, kind of the normal procedure for this is this happened. We do a root cause analysis. We identify why it happened, and then we put safeguards in place to prevent it from happening again. But because we can't account for everything, some other thing will happen, and we'll put more safeguards against it. But if you follow that process to its logical conclusion, there's like so many safeguards in place that you're essentially paralyzed from doing anything at all. And in early stages of being paralyzed from doing anything at all, you start being paralyzed from doing anything creative. Because like if you have to get a sign off from 25 different managers, you're not gonna do it, right? It's just like it's not worth it. It's too much of a hassle. So the older and more bureaucratized the company becomes, the less joyful it becomes to work there, because you can't just YOLO things with the risk of everything breaking, right? Because now you have SLAs and you have contracts and you have responsibilities, and like you can't break people's shit. Like I imagine like in early days of Facebook when they were saying like ship fast and break things. I don't know if they still follow that, mostly just because of how many people would be affected if they did. And at the same time, I don't know, on like the public facing side of Facebook, like what's the most exciting thing any of those social networks came out with recently that was like, oh, holy shit, this is actually pretty cool. I was waiting for something like that, you know?
They do.
But like, can you name? Because I don't use Facebook, right? I mean, I use Facebook for Marketplace because I want to like buy and sell shit online.
That's one thing.
Well, yeah, but that came out when? Like Marketplace is old now, you know?
Yeah, but this is one thing. I'm just saying, Marketplace is not that old, by the way. Like,
right. But like, you know how in the beginning of the project you just like add these things in there, and it feels like it's great. Like I'm using this little service. Originally, it was like a tiny application because I'm running Proxmox for my homelab, and this service, when I first installed it, gave you like at a glance each VM and container running on the system and like how much CPU and memory and disk they consume. You kind of have like this one little table with all of them at once. And like in last month, the guy has added Docker hosts, and like the last thing I saw, he added like monitoring for actual PCs and Macs and Windows machines. Like you can kind of plug them all into the system and it'll show you like the stats. So it like I can look at it and be like, oh, this cool new feature, that cool new feature. It's kind of like progressing really, really fast. But when I look at like
maybe
Facebook or
like
Twitter or Instagram, it's just like, oh, it's been like that for like last 7 years. Like what the hell are all these people doing in there? They're changing a color from FFABAC to FFABAD to see if it improves conversions in terms of its color. Like, probably.
I don't think so. I don't use a lot of it, but I feel like changes like this is probably easier to see in a smaller application. But in an application this size, I feel like some of these changes will probably be like too small to notice at some point. For example, I think again, I don't really use Facebook, but I know like recently on Instagram, I started to see that they have, different features like security features and stuff like this. And
yeah, you can't just make an account anymore. You need like 25 levels of verification to open an
account.
Yeah,
so like, yeah.
Like, thank God I have a couple of fake Facebook accounts that I opened 10 years ago, so I can still use them without providing like my butthole print and passport details.
Did you really?
What? Having extra Facebook accounts?
Yeah,
I made a couple just in case.
In case?
Well, yeah, like if I want to do something, like if I want to use Marketplace without providing my identity on the internet, I could just do that.
Yeah, that's
But like these days, a friend of mine was telling me the extent of amount of hoops you have to jump through if you want to open a Google account without tying it to some phone number. It's still possible, but it is extremely difficult. There's like this bizarre route through all the different services in Google ecosystem that you can take to end up with like a Gmail account that is not tied to your phone number.
What if you don't even have a phone? Like, anyway, I don't
Well,
even
if
know
you
how
don't have
this.
a phone, you're poor. Go away.
What if you don't want a phone? I wish some of these things. You see, this is my issue. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like tech, and I like to enjoy the services and stuff, but I wish some of it were optional. It's not mandatory, but it's also not it's not optional either. For example, like you cannot opt out and say, I don't want a phone. I just want to live my life without it.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Pretty
could
much.
say it, but you're not
But
really
like,
like.
good luck living your life without it.
Do you understand? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, I wish it could be optional. Even social media now, you could say things like, "Oh yeah, I don't use Twitter or I don't use Facebook," but at the end of the day, we are all consuming the same content. Like technically, if you don't take it from Twitter, you probably take it from YouTube, or you probably take it from anywhere you take your content.
Yeah.
Technically.
But like the like YouTube has gotten so much shittier over like last 5 years. It's not even funny. Like in terms of its usability, YouTube is just so bad.
Why do you say that?
Because I
What's
use
your
it every day, and every time it's like, oh my god, they made another change. You know, I remember telling you like my disdain for product managers as like the source of everything that is making internet shittier because they have to keep delivering stupid features. So like all of these products, they all suffer from having too many product managers pushing their shitty features on everybody, whether we ask them for them or not. You know.
What feature would you like to take up? Because like I'm starting to enjoy my YouTube now. Like I
Well,
learned
okay,
something
so
about YouTube.
yeah, I mean, you can enjoy the YouTube's content, but like if you're not using an ad blocker, YouTube has gone from like you get 2 ad breaks in spots where the video creator has placed like the markers for where the ad spots would reasonably go, to now having a 60-second unskippable ad break like every 5 minutes or so. Like it's just completely nuts. Like,
Well,
how is that a good thing? Like, I understand they need monetization, but like, dude, like seriously,
would you ever consider having a pay for YouTube? Would you
pay for
ever
YouTube.
do it?
For as long as I can do it the circumvention on technical grounds, I'll never pay for goddamn YouTube. Which is, I guess, a little bit hypocritical because this podcast goes on YouTube. But on the other hand, I don't really plan on monetizing it, so I really don't give a shit. And I'd like, if somebody were to watch this fully, for instance, if they found this conversation so riveting that they want to watch it fully and enjoy it, but they didn't because they get interrupted with 60-second ads like every 5 minutes, like, I don't want that. I want for people to be able to stick around and like listen to this stuff uninterrupted without like us talking and then all of a sudden the fucking Grubhub guy just spazzing out on screen for like 30 seconds. Like, you see that 5 times in a row, you're gonna kill yourself, honestly.
You know
It's
what?
just hellish.
I think business is business, to be honest. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I've been upset about it. It's everywhere. I feel like this is, and I'm not gonna be surprised if we start seeing ads in the chat boxes and
Do
bots
you
and
not
those.
hear like what is it? Samsung pushes ads on like their $3,000 fridge, the smart fridge. They're now pushing ads on the screen of that fridge. Like, you pay $3,000 for a fridge with a screen, which was a dumb idea in the first place. I don't know why would anyone do that. But now you get to enjoy ads on it.
Cool, cool.
Like, imagine you come to your fridge and like
Mhm.
you try to open the door and it just doesn't let you. Like, oh, before you open the door, you have to watch this 30-second ad. Might help obesity rates for all I care, but at the same time, you know, people who can afford the $3,000 fridge are probably not suffering from obesity. I'm gonna tell you that much.
Um, I mean, this is a tech thing. I feel like this is the thing. This is the business. The business is attention. Get people to stay. If you start a website right now, like if you start a blog,
Yeah,
I feel like one of the things you would want on your blog is to retention rate. So like
yeah.
I know this to be business. And I want to say a lot of things, but I just know like this is the business. And I've been thinking a lot about like how do we actually have people live in this new era and still be able to enjoy tech, live a normal life, I have everything balanced. I don't see how it happens.
I don't
I
think
feel
it
like
happens.
I feel like we are paying for most of these things with with
With
ourselves.
your
Like,
soul.
yeah, because you just like watching YouTube on a regular Tuesday evening,
Yep.
and some guy pops up an ad and is like, "Oh yeah, you want to make $10 million in 20 minutes? Yeah, but follow this link and I will teach you how to make this money, blah 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 blah." And then you start to invest money in some scheme thinking this is going to make you. Some people don't understand
Yeah.
how ads affect psychology, like the psychological effects of ads at times. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not just like buying stuff. It's like it could get into some rabbit. Anyway,
It's
it's a
like that
little
classic video. Do not ask questions. Just consume product and get excited for a new product.
it is what it is. I don't like this.
Speaking of blogs, though, I had my 15 minutes of fame. A blog post of mine ended up on front page of Hacker News for about like
Ooh,
30 minutes, and I didn't even post it there, which was pretty cool.
yeah.
Like I 2 days ago, I posted it before going to bed around like 10 p.m. And then the next day I get to my computer, like I open Hacker News and I start reading some article. But like as I click on it, I see something that like makes me do a double take. I'm like, oh, that's my article on a front page of Hacker News. So that's kind of cool.
What's it about? Tell me.
Oh, I was upgrading my Proxmox from version 8 to version 9, and I suffered some catastrophic failures briefly, and I just was writing down my experiences and how I ended up fixing it, thanks to some random Reddit user out there.
He's signing autographs now? Is that I'll take one.
The merch's in the back, you can't see it on camera, but it is there. It's like,
I'll take one, I'll take a signature here,
yeah.
Yeah.
At first, I thought I'll do like printing on demand, but then I thought, what the hell, and just order 25 boxes of t-shirts off China, like right away.
You know what? It's a business.
Yeah.
Vasili's office hours, we should start having it. At this point, I think we should already have a mesh.
Should, yeah, you should. Like,
Vasili office hours, merch. Anyway,
merch.
this is a business idea.
Yeah.
We can talk about this later. If anyone who listens to this, if you think we should start doing the mesh, you should leave a comment and let us know.
Yeah.
Maybe this is gonna
You
motivate.
should have just extremely high quality merch, like $80 t-shirt.
Look at that. Look at that.
Nothing but the best. Considering how everyone here is a man of culture, a gentleman and a scholar, they deserve nothing but the
you
best.
don't want to wear a $20 t-shirt. Like,
Exactly.
listen, if you still wear a $20
Like
t-shirt, like,
scratchy
come on,
and
man,
cheap.
come on,
That's
come on, man.
Unpleasant, yeah.
Unpleasant. Anyway, we digressed a lot. But I think I understand where we were coming from, like with the
Yeah, we
sleep up.
were talking about like what to do and what not to do to prevent these
You see,
catastrophic things from happening. But my point was that you can probably prevent these things from happening, but then you prevent everything else from happening too, because nothing of it is fun anymore, and it's just like a constant bureaucratic dredge. And like, I guess I can say that hopefully no one died because of that Cloudflare outage.
people cool without that.
And as long as nobody died, everybody got to go and touch grass for like a couple hours, which is a good thing probably overall. And then everybody gets to bitch about it on the internet for like 3 weeks to boost their own egos. So that's also pretty good. So I'd say like on a net, I believe that was a positive thing that happened. If I were to be so bold.
I mean, there was also a lot of money probably lost.
That's true. But, nobody guarantees that you're going to make money. Like, look at crypto right now. Bitcoin lost like fucking what? I don't know, like 25% in like last like week or two.
But this is normal, like for crypto, no? Like they come up with some stories like this and then it goes deep and then like before another year or two, then I mean
you see back in the day when Bitcoin was going down, it was like, oh, finally I can afford a graphics card for myself and like not have like every miner and their dog like buying all the GPUs off the market and then like not having any so I can build my gaming PC. But now with the advent of AI, all of the cards that the miners don't buy immediately get scooped up by all the AI people. So like I still can get. No, actually that's not true. I've recently ordered something for my home lab, which is this tiny NVIDIA A2000E card that I plan on sticking into my mini PC to run some models on for the project I'm working on.
Oh yeah, AI models.
Yeah. We wanna include like some type of semantic search, and I've kind of basically abandoned the idea of trying to do it with AMD GPUs because it's like everybody just targets NVIDIA. So NVIDIA it is, I guess.
Look at that. Look at it. So,
I'll tell you something that you'll probably be giddy about it because yesterday I was demoed a project which is AI based that I was thoroughly impressed with. So I gotta plug it. I just need to remember what the hell it was
you
called.
see, you see that? So the day finally came. Basically, the day
Because
finally.
it actually did something that
Mhm.
was actually reasonable, you know?
Of course, Vasili. I told you that the day would come, and I'm really glad you're sharing this with me. I'm telling you, like, um, I feel like we're at the age where like you can't compete with these things. Like, it's not possible. You cannot beat machine. We have
Yeah,
to figure out how to accept it. And
that is exactly right. Okay, so what the heck is this thing? Yes, this thing is called Code Canvas. So these guys get a free plug. They kind of cold reached out to me on LinkedIn and be like, hey, we're building this thing. Do you want to take a look and tell us what you think? Being
Mhm.
like a senior engineer with 20 years of industry experience. I was like, sure. And they're trying to solve a problem of like onboarding new people into the team in a complex project in terms of like how to even begin to understand what the hell it's doing and if you need to make changes like what impact they will have and like where to do it and all that kind of stuff, right? You need to spend a lot of time like digging through the guts or have somebody explain it to you, but then no one person has the full picture of that of the system that they're building in their head so they can like basically like matrix upload it into your brain and you can understand it right away. So this thing, you feed it like a bunch of repos and it tries to make sense of all of it and like comes up with all these flows.
A bunch
And
of repos, a bunch of branches.
yeah, so like you plug in like your mono repo or like all of your repos that like reference one another and it
Mhm.
scans them all and it tries to understand like all of the flows in your system and then map them to code and like reason about them and like make this diagram of like source files and where stuff goes when you go through all these different flows. So if it's like a microservice, it attempts to like trace the whole thing. You know, like you have distributed tracing in runtime and you can kind of trace where shit goes, but this tries to reason about it like on a code level. And I plugged in like a toy toy project that I did as like a take home assignment when I was not recruiting, but when I was like interviewing. I did like a little project in a few hours, which is very very small, granted. But I plugged it in and it was able to figure everything out and like actually trace through with like the fairly obscure library that I'm using. I was like, wow, this is actually really impressive. You know, I could see that being helpful instead of me trying to like manually IntelliSense my way around trying to make sense of it. The only thing is like it's doing well on like public repos that are in fairly decent condition, but considering how shitty proprietary code bases usually are in terms of like all the legacy craft and garbage that's part of them, it would be interesting to see how it operates on like a real life payloads. But it was pretty impressive. So yeah, check it out.
I mean, is it like an IDE or a library? This tool.
No, it's a SaaS tool where you give it like a repo, and then it analyzes it, and then you have kind of like a diagram, like a block diagram with like all the source code, and you
Like a
can
like documentation of some sort.
essentially it generates a file that you can store with the code and then use this tool to visualize. Kind of
Okay.
like it's kind of like UML UML on steroids.
The reason why I'm asking all these questions is because like I know about the mermaid. Like
Yeah,
there
yeah, yeah.
are
So effectively, it makes you a mermaid only interactive and like very, very detailed. And it also has like a little slider that can make it like super granular or like super high level, which was pretty cool too. So
yeah.
yeah, I was impressed, which is a
I
hard thing
told
to
you.
do.
I'm telling you, Vasili, you can't compete with this thing. Like it's not even that long ago. Like when we
Yeah.
were having this conversation, like that industry has grown to a point where like if you were still like on the fence at this point, like
Hmm.
you're either like a genius or
Well,
you are the
okay,
computer
like we
itself.
found one use case so far, so like
Vasily, it's true. You have to accept it. No, and I say this because, like you mentioned, like, oh yeah, this is better, like a use case instead of like intelligence. But the thing is, I don't know if you've tried it. Like there are tools right now that it built inside IDEs that does all of this
mhm.
and still tell you about your code, so you can actually chat with your code. You can have like help you with like documentation or like even for front end work. I don't know
Mhm.
if you know about Figma Make.
No.
Okay, let me put you on, Vasily. So like right now, eh,
Look, I'm a backward hillbilly when it comes to all this newfangled shit, so
you know, right now, before in Figma, you can make your design by yourself and actually like put everything together. But now with like Figma Make, you can actually just like describe what you're trying to build
mhm.
and it actually creates the design for you.
Mhm.
And it can create the page for you, like all the page that you can export with React.
Yeah.
And it's impressive. I tried recently and I was really like impressed. I don't know if you can have it in another framework. I think this is one of the limitations that I saw. I don't know if you can have it like you can choose to do.
How much is Facebook paying them?
I don't know, but I don't know if they can do with another framework. But the experience I had, it came out with React, and I was pretty surprised about how good it looks actually looked. But I don't know, man. I hope. The only thing I'm trying to see now is like the how it affects the speed of innovation. I feel like many people now, many tools now are trying so hard to compete when it comes to like innovation. Like you do this, but we can do it too. Like it's not like special. Like it's not like, oh yeah, these people are very special because they have this feature. This feature
But
can it,
like what is truly innovative these days? Like something where you look at it and be like, "Wow, I haven't seen that before." Like cuz innovation is supposed to be like something novel, right? Something new, something that hasn't existed up until now. But now a lot of it like the whole point of AI is that it's a remix of an existing thing. It's like a variation on a theme. So a lot of the things that come out are basically variation on the theme. And I mean, we're like in a hype cycle for AI, so everybody's just building everything about AI. But like, what is out there that is actually making your life better? That is actually innovative. That like does make your life better. That's coming out. I haven't been like. I'd like to know for personal inspiration even like is there such a thing or is
what we're
everybody
doing
just
right now.
building yet another clone of some social network to like keep your eyes glued to the screen for 24 hours and extract all of your personal data?
My first example will probably be what we're doing right now. I feel like this is innovation to be able
Well, I
to
mean,
to do this. Um, I don't think many people would think much about this like 4 or 5 years ago, even
about what, sorry?
about being able to like remote working or how do you call this? Video conferencing?
Oh, video conferencing.
Yeah, like it-
Well, I mean, like
I mean it was
no,
there, but I'm just saying like it's just an example of an innovation. Like this is an innovation
right, but
to
like I'm talking about recent. Because video
wait.
calling,
Okay,
like, okay, so I'll grant you that there's been a lot of democratization of stuff. Like, we had video conferencing before, but like 10 years ago was kind of taking off. 20 years ago, if you wanted to do it, you could do it. You just have to spend like insane amount of money. Like if you look at those, what's that company, like Polycom,
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, everybody,
Mm-hmm.
all the big offices have like Polycom phones and conferencing systems. Those fuckers are expensive. Like one of those swivelly camera from Polycom 20 years ago probably cost you like 25 grand. So you could do it. It just like was not affordable for most people, but now it's so democratized, like literally anybody can do it. But innovation happened like 30 years ago. Like, I mean, we get better resolutions and maybe better compression rates and consuming less data, which is valid in its own sense, but it's not exactly a breakthrough.
Okay, so I think I understand where you're coming from. Maybe what you're trying to say is like nobody is inventing like a new automobile or like a new airplane.
In fact,
So
all existing automobiles converge on this same blobby kind of shape, and they all like look virtually indistinguishable from one another.
true,
Except
but I
maybe
feel
Hyundai. Whoever is designer for Hyundai currently, that guy like is cool because props to that guy. Like that shit looks amazing. Everybody else looks exactly the same.
I think innovation comes in different forms. So like there's innovation in different places. Some might be very, for example, Uber.
Mm-hmm.
This is tech innovation. Like I feel like if you look at it from tech, if you're looking at it from like, oh yeah, someone built like a, a, a flying car or like a flying boat, maybe. But if it solves a problem, I think this is what it means. Like, and I feel like many people have come up with like very innovative ways to solve certain problems. Like it could be in your house and you could be able to like do many things from inside. Like so I feel like
You
this
know,
has been like
speaking of innovation, right? Like I have a smart home that I've built myself. So when AWS and Cloudflare were having their oopsies, I was kind of laughing because I self-host everything. And then the day after, I decided to upgrade my Proxmox to a new version, and some stuff crashed. And at the same time, it's like, oh, I have a 2-node cluster. One node crashed completely. The cluster cannot reach quorum anymore, and I needed to reboot the thing that controls like all of my lights and stuff. And then I can't reboot it because the cluster didn't reach quorum. And I'm like, it's like I figured out some way of solving that problem, but that was the problem entirely of my own making. So there could have been like tons of innovation that helped me solve that problem, but because that problem was entirely of my own making, like was that all of that innovation, like it's like we're innovating a solutions to the problems that we've created for ourselves from like a previous generation of innovation, so called, right? We just like keep trying to outpace
mm,
everything getting progressively more and more complicated and more shitty, and we kind of present it as if it's like some panacea that will, oh, look, we're solving this problem. But like if you dig deep enough, it's like, yeah, but you created the problem in the first place, so like, okay.
you know what? I actually want to hear more about this because I think I understand what you're saying. Like, so, give an example.
Well, that's kind of hard to do on, but like, okay, like Cloudflare is there to protect your website from DDoS, and like DDoS, usually like somebody attacks you with a DDoS if it's like, you know, a competitor that's like jealous of yours. I don't even know who the hell DDoS is. It like before it was kind of for shits and giggles, like script kiddies would DDoS a website just to see what it looks like. It was kind of malicious, but it wasn't like it was kind of for fun in a sense. And then people would like do shitty things for fun, but then it evolved into, hey, we can do this shitty thing for money, right? And I don't know if it's exactly a good example, but it feels like there's been like this escalation where something not so harmless kind of got more and more and more weaponized, and on the other side of things we have to progressively keep like improving the defense, and they all kind of work off of one another. So like every new spiral of that cycle, we can present it as innovation. It's like, oh, now we're slapping AI on top of protection for security, and it's like it never stops, but ultimately it's like solving that one problem that has been there for like last 100 years, because it's just a problem of human nature, right? So
Yeah.
it is innovation within that domain, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like, you know, you hit me with a fist, I hit you with a stick, you hit me with a rock, I hit you with a bow, you hit me with a sword, I hit you with a gun, you hit me with a cannon, I hit you with a nuclear bomb, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's all innovation throughout the entire stack, but the driving force behind it is just human nature, so we can't really do much about it. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Pardon that brief interruption.
I was gonna say, it's true, but I was gonna think that this is problems comes from humans,
Mm-hmm.
and without humans, there won't even problems to solve. So like, and
So if you were a benevolent AI, you'd be like, how do we solve all problems? Yeah, let's just eliminate all humans and then we don't have any problems, because they're the ones responsible for creating all of them.
technically,
Technically, yeah.
yeah,
Technically,
technically,
that's how it's gonna go, you know?
like most of the problems like come from a need or like a
I believe there was
a
an episode
desire.
when we talked about it, is that like you're presenting me with a solution to a problem,
Mhm.
but you are the one that created that problem in the first place, so then you can like offer me a solution to it. It's like a very snake oil salesman type thing, you know?
Yeah, to be
It's
to be
like,
honest,
do you breathe oxygen? If so, I have a product for you. And it's like, okay.
I mean, I see where you're going, but I think I have a different opinion about it because at the one time I feel like this is like pre-COVID when we were still in the office. We had a whole argument about this in the office one time. I was like, innovation is not the same thing. Like people, when you read about like the people who the telephone guys or like the airplane guys, you read about how like even Apple, like the Sky. And then you read about how like, oh yeah, they created something out of nothing and like this idea did not exist before. And I felt like this is the definition of innovation, like, just like this, groundbreaking, like, but I'm feeling that innovation does not necessarily have to be like this. I feel like it was like that because technology was not that obvious. So like even the fact that you could have a carriage like that can move from one place to the other, like, oh, you're so cool. You don't have to walk, like or like you could do basic stuff, with your stuffs. Like, but I feel if it had stopped there, would it still have been innovation? Like if your innovation cannot really grow over time, like does it really solve problem or like it's just a plaster? Like
I
I feel
think,
like for
yeah.
you to be innovative, it has to be able to evolve as well. Like
No, that's true. Like improving on something, even like minorly improving on something to make it even better, is still innovation in a sense.
mhm.
There's maybe not much novelty to it. Like making an existing thing better is like pretty good, you know? It's like, oh, the version 2 came out and now this thing that used to bother everybody is no longer there and everyone's like pretty happy about it. So I'm all for that. And I think maybe the reason why I'm kind of cynical about it is probably that like, it's kind of like the App Store problem. You
Mm.
know, when Apple launched App Store, there's been like a flood of like tens of thousands of applications. It's just, and if you look at the what's that guy's name? I don't remember. But like 90% of everything is shit. We talked about it before,
Mhm.
right? So it's like 90% of all the innovation is shit. It's like absolutely useless garbage, and it's just hard to see what's actually really cool in the constant screaming of everybody that's trying to say how innovative they are, even though it's like barely anything interesting. So it's like finding truly interesting, cool stuff is hard, but it is there because out of all of innovation, at least 10% is not shit. So it has to be there. It's just really hard to get to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's also because most of it is software these days. Anyway, It is what it is. Hopefully, we get to see what you're building, and
Yeah.
we'll put it in a.
See, the thing is, like, even the thing that we're building, it's not
Mhm.
innovative in any way whatsoever, but it is solving a problem of a subset of people that have that problem, and we are hoping to offer them a solution to that.
So
And
so why is it not innovative if it's solving a problem?
well, there's nothing novel about it. All of the parts of it, and even the combination of the parts, has been well understood for decades. It's just people probably think that this market is so small that it's negligible, and we're trying to see if that's the case.
I'm I'm thinking if I should ask you if you want to talk about the market.
You know, someone said, if you want to explain gaps on your resume, just say that you were a co-founder in a stealth startup.
Is this the situation? Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Like at that point we can then ask you because I don't know.
You know, the thing that we're building, have you seen the meme called "It's not much, but it's honest work"?
Mhm.
It was like a farmer on a picture. It says like, "It's not much, but it's honest work."
There's a couple of pictures
Yeah,
like
yeah, but like that idea sort of exemplifies what we're trying to build. Like, it's not much, but it's honest work, you know? Like, it's nothing crazy. It's not like, ooh, I'm a co-founder in a stealth startup. Ooh, you know, and everyone's like, oh my God, he's going to be next Mark Zuckerberg. It's like, no, not even remotely close.
You never know. You never know. Maybe. You never know. You don't think so? Anyway, I'm
Uh,
just an optimist.
yeah,
Vasili.
I'm being realistic. It's like, it has potential, but not like, it's not going to change, like, I don't know. Is it going to change the planet for the better? Even if it does, it will be in such a minute amount that it's entirely inconsequential in grand scheme of things. Because
Okay,
like
you know.
arrival of Facebook upon the planet massively changed humanity, whether to good or bad. Still, the jury is still out on that one.
Mhm.
But nowhere near that kind of caliber anyway.
You know, you said a lot of things, but now I'm thinking, would you even want to tell us about this project? Would you want to give us like this um more details about it? Maybe
I'm a
today or
co-founder
something?
in a stealth startup.
You, no. At some point, you need to tell us what's going on. We need to ask you like a daily or something. Like,
Nah, no, that's the thing too.
mhm.
Again, because again, it's so not novel that there really isn't much to talk about. If I
Fair
talk
enough.
about it, people will be like, I could have come up with that. And it's like, sure, you could have. It's all there. It's all already there. Like, go do it. You know, it's
Yeah,
just no one's
fair
doing
enough.
it. So
Fair enough.
maybe we'll do it.
Fair enough. Anyway, thank you, Vasily. It's nice to chat today.
Nice to chat, Mo. Hopefully, uh, shorter gaps. See you next week. That type of stuff.
Yeah. Also, like, I was gonna, you know what? I don't know if you still have some time. Like, how does it feel, no, being on a vacation for a long period of time? Like, do you feel like you miss work? Or
Well, it
like,
doesn't feel like a vacation, to be honest with you. Like, it's not necessarily a vacation, and it's very Groundhog Day ish. It's like every day is very much like every other day. And yeah, it's not much of a vacation really. I mean, I still get to do things that I kind of normally do. It's like, oh, the kid's asleep. I can play a round of a video game because you know, kid's asleep. You know, but at the same
so,
time, it's still not like the before life. It's a completely different life. So sorry, I might have to go here.
okay.
So thanks everyone. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.